Okay, so what we saw yesterday or what we learned yesterday was reactive forms in Angular. Right now, uh, the basic usage for reactive forms is pretty easy. Right, what we do is we import the forms module and reactive forms module. After that, we create objects of form group and form control. So form group corresponds to this form tag in your HTML, and form control corresponds to the input tag, right? And we were able to group the things together. Means in a single variable, which is say my form, or a single data member, which is my form one, right? We were able to get the values of name as well as email. Right, so that was pretty easy. Now today, what we are going to see is that we will see we'll use a drop down, and we'll populate the values of that drop down from using ng-for. So that would also be a dynamic data. Right? Then we'll use simple name, email, three fields. We'll use very, very simple fields: name, email, and let's say let's have a drop down for cities. Right? So that is what we would do. Then we'll have an add button, and when we click on that add button, what we would do is we would populate the data in a table, right? And we will perform basic CRUD operations. By CRUD operations, what we mean is add in a table, add new data in the table, or delete a data in the table, or say update a data in the table. So that is what we are going to perform today. Right? These are very, very basic operations, right? But it is very important for us to learn these basic operations, right? So let us start. What I'll do is I'll have uh, I'll remove this login form, right? Let's not use this, and I'll use this form itself, the form which we created yesterday, which had a name and an email, right? And I'll have another div tag. Inside this div tag, what we need to provide is the drop down for cities. Now, for to get the drop down for cities, right? To get a drop down in HTML, what we have is a select tag, and inside select tag, what we have is an option tag, right? And in an option tag, right, we can have say Nagpur, then I'll have two, three options. Let's say Nagpur, Pune, Amravati, and maybe Akola. Right, that is what we would have. Let's see if we get that drop down in our UI, not first. Right, so we get this drop down. Right, now if you can see that this particular drop down, right, or in this particular case, all the values of the cities, we have hard coded those values. Right, but if we do not need hard coding, what we need to do is we need to use dynamic data and bind that data here. So what I'll do is I'll create a data member. I'll call it cities, and I'll create an array of strings here. In my array of strings, what I'll have is I'll have say Nagpur, then Amravati, then maybe Pune, then maybe Bhilai, and maybe Indore. Right. So these are the cities which we have here. Now we need to display these cities in our drop down. What we would do is that I'll have the select, and inside the select, what I'll do is I'll have an option tag. Right. I'll remove this, and inside this option tag, I'll give an ng-for. So I'll say star ng-for equals to, and I will say let C of cities. And here, right, what I would do is I would bind it like this. I would say C dot name. Now let's see if we get that. No, we did not. Right, because we do not have a name, we have only cities. So I say only C. So I get these values from here. Is it clear as of now? What did we do? We had an array of cities, right? This is simple array of strings, and each string corresponds to a city. Now, this is not a JSON array, it is a normal string array, right? So what did I do here? I used a select. Inside select, I used option, and in that option, I used ng for, right? And I said, let's see of cities. So this is iterating, and I just had the value C, right? So what I got here in drop down is all the cities, whatever we have in this cities array, right? If I increase one more city, if I add one more city in this, let's say if I add Bhopal, right? It will have Bhopal as well, right? So think of a scenario wherein all the cities, right, they would come from the server, right? So server will send you the cities, or how we can say is you will ask the server for the cities, server will send you the cities, and you would store those cities in an array and you would display them in this fashion. Yahan tak is it clear? Okay, right. So that is pretty easy. Now let us learn how to bind this in our form. Now in my form, right, what I'll do is I have a data member, I'll call it city, right? Sorry, a form control, I'll call it city, and I'll use form control here, right? And to bind this, we need to use form control name. So in my HTML, in my select tag, what I'll do is I'll say form control name equals to, and I'll give it city, and I'll save it. I'll say control S. Right. So where did I give my form control name? I gave it in the select tag itself, right? Not in the option, because these options would keep on repeating, right? Select tag would only be one. Okay. Now let us see. Right. In my console, I'll select something. Amaravati. I'll type some name. I'll say a@b.com. Right. And I'll click on submit. So if you can see now, right, in my form, I got the city as well. Right. So that is how you bind a drop down. Now, drop down is a pretty common element which we have in general, right? So that is how we bind it. Is it clear? कैसे bind किया हमने? Right? What did we do? In our form control name, we gave our form control name in the select tag, right? And this city, we added it simply as a form control in our form. Clear? Yes. Okay, good. Now, what I'll do is, now what we need to do is, we need to display a table, right? And in this table, what we would do is, we'll display whatever entries are added, right? Now, as of now, we are not storing it on server or anywhere else, right? So we'll simply store it or display it in this table. So let us have a table tag, right? Inside table tag, we have a table header. Inside table header, I'll have uh, a th. Inside th, I'll say serial number. Right. So this will be simply 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what it would show. Right. Next tag I would have is name. Then the next which I would have is email. Right. I'll give a star here maybe. Not required here. Then I'll give city. Right. Now this is just a header or the columns of your table. right? So it simply created the columns. Then I'll have a table body tag, right? Inside table body, we will have tr tag, which is table row, and inside tr, right, means in every row we have td, right? And inside td, initially I would say one. The next td, that is table data, I would write some name, let's say Gandhar, right? Then next I would write say a@b.com, right? Next I would say city, let's say Nagpur. So that is how you create a hard coded table here, right? Is the table visible? Right? We are not applying any styling or anything, right? But it is just a very, very simple table, right? Now, what we need to do is we need to add whatever we add here, right? We need to display that in this table. That is what we need to do, right? That is the first thing that we would do, right? After that, or sorry, to do that, what we need is we need an array, right? So that your data in your table would be displayed by that array or from that array. So what I would do is in my TS file, I will create an array. What I can call it, my data. I'll say my data colon any equals to a blank array. Right now, we do not have any array here. We do not have any data here. Right. And what I would do next is that whenever we click on submit button, right, we have this my form one dot value. That is what we have here. So here, what I would do is I would say this dot my data dot push, and in this I would pass my form one dot value. So if you see it properly, this dot my form one dot value, this would be nothing but a simple JSON object, right? Which would have three keys. One is name, one is email, and one is city. So we are pushing that JSON object inside the array my data, which we have created. Currently, it is a blank array, right? And after this, I will simply say console.log this dot my data. Right. As of now, we are not displaying it in the table. I am simply saying console.log. Right. And I am printing that array in the console. Now let us see if we are able to print that. So I give some name, then an email a@b.com and a city, say Amravati, and I click on submit. So this is the first console.log, which is app.component.ts line number 30, which is nothing but my form one dot value. So this is what we got from the form. And in line number 32, it should print the array. And let us see if you can see or observe it properly. What we see here is this is an array. This looks like an array, right? If I expand it in the zeroth index of an array, what we get is city email name wala object, right? So that is the object which we created from here. Next, what I'll do is I'll add some other name. I'll say Manish, and I'll give some another email ID b@c.com, and I'll use Pune. Right. I'll click on submit. Right. So now if you see that my form one dot value printed that object which we passed through our form, and on line number 32 we printed that array. Now this array, it has two elements instead of one. First element is the one which we created previously, and the second element is for Manish, which we created right now. Right. In the same way, I say instead of Manish, if I say Harish, right, and I say c@b.com, and I give some value, say Bilal, right, and I click enter, or I click on submit, right. Again, the object and that object pushed in an array. Is it clear यहाँ तक? Okay, great. Right. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to display that in our table. Now, to display an array in your UI, right, what we need to do is we need to use ng-for. So, we'll use that ng-for in our table. Now, to use ng-for in our table, right, we'll go to HTML file and here in tr, I would say star ng-for equals to, and I'll say let m of my data naam tha na, let m of my data, right? I'll give a semicolon and I say let I equals to index. Now this is an iterator. Iterator means it loops over each element in your array my data, right? And its index, it's stored in this variable index. So I'll say let I equals to index here. So this I will contain my index. So the first thing that I would do is I'll try to bind this I. Now, uh, make sure that your index starts from 0, or keep in mind that your index starts from 0. So I'll keep it first like this and then I'll change. Then in the next line, what I would say, or in the next TD, what I would say is I would say m dot name, right? In the next TD, which is for email, what I would say is m dot email. And in the next, this is the city which we are having. I would say m dot city, right? And I save it, right? As soon as I save it, right? Initially, this would be blank. Why is this blank? Because our page is getting refreshed, and whenever the page gets refreshed, right? This thing comes into picture. Means your class is loaded again. So your my data becomes 0. Right? Now the value in this my data, right? It would come only after we add something. So I say, let's say I type Gandhar, I say a@b.com, right? And I say city Amravati and I click on submit. So if you see, what happened is we have the serial number which starts from 0. Why is it starting from 0? Because we have taken that serial number from the index, and index of an array starts from 0. So instead, right, if I use I plus 1 here, it will start from 1. Right. Now let us again say, again it got refreshed, right? And I say Vaishnavi, I say a@b.com and I use Pune, right? And I click on submit. Right. Now if you see that we got our serial number proper, then we got the name proper, then we got the email proper, and then we got the city proper. Right. Let us use now one more thing. Uh, as soon as the data is added in your array, right? Or as soon as you click on submit, this form of yours, it should clear down, right? It should not have the previous values. So that is some, say, user-friendly feature which we should always have. So what I'll do is, right, as soon as I click on submit, right, I push this value and I would say this dot my form one dot reset. Right now, reset is a function which will bring the data of that form to its default values, right, which are blank in this case. Right now, let us check this again. Right, I give Vanshika, I say a@b.com and I use some Vilay and I click on submit. Right now, if you see that the data is added in our table and the form got reset, right? I can say, I can have another name. I'll say Bhavika. I'll say b@b.com, right? And I'll use some Indore, right? And I'll click on submit, right? So what are we seeing? What we are seeing is that the second element also got added. Now, just keep in mind the flow, right? What is the flow? We are having a form. That form generates a JSON, right? Because we are using a reactive form, it is generating a JSON object. then what are we doing? We are having an array whose name is my data. And when we click on submit, what is happening is we are pushing that JSON object into that array, right? Because it is pushed in that array and we have used data binding to display that array in our table, right? We are able to see this table here, right? So again, this is two-way data binding. Is it clear? Okay, great. Right. Now the next thing is that whenever you have some data in the table, let us say that you entered some wrong value, then what you do? What you do is you update that data. Now to update that data, right, we should ensure that we are following certain rules and regulations. What are those rules and regulations? That whichever row we select, only that row should be updated. Whichever row we select, only that row should be updated. That is a basic rule which I am saying. Right. Now what I will do is that in my table, I'll add another column and I'll call that column as actions. And inside that actions, right, we will have a button which says update. Now let's do that. So in my HTML, what I'll do is right, I have a th in which I say actions. Right. And in my TD, what I would say is I will add button. Right. And in that button, I'll simply write edit. Right. And in my button, right, I'll have a click function equals to, and I'll simply say edit data. Right. That is a very simple thing which I am doing here. Right. So, and what I would also do is I'll have a function which will say edit data. And inside this, I'll simply say console.log in edit data. Right, that is what I am saying. Right, I am not implementing any functionality here. So again, I'll type some name. I'll say Akash. Then I'll say a@v.com, and I'll give some this and click on submit. Now, if you see that I got this row, and if I click on edit, right, it should simply say in edit data, right? But what you need to understand is that even if we are saying in edit data, we are not passing the reference of this data here, right? So what we need to do is we need some way or mechanism of passing this particular row, right, to this place. So what I'll do is I will pass that row. How will I pass? In my HTML, I will pass M here. What is M? M is the current row, whichever row we would be selecting, that would be M, right? And in my edit data, I'll have some variable, say obj. So the value of that M will come into this obj, and I'll say console.log obj. Now what should happen is, now what I'm going to do is, we'll add 2-3 rows in our table, right? And I'll click on edit of each row. Right. When I click on edit, you will be able to see that, okay, whichever row we have selected, its value gets printed. Right. Now let us see that. I say Himanshu, I type a@v.com, and Amravati, I click submit, right? Then I say Zafar, I'll say b@b.com, and I use some Pune, and I click on submit, right? Then I use say Vanshika, I say c@b.com, I'll use uh, Bhilai, submit. I'll use say Pallavi, right? I'll say d@b.com, right? I'll select say Indore, I click on submit, right? Now for every row, we are having an edit button, right? I'll just clear this console so you guys will be able to see it more clearly. Now, let's say I have to edit Zafar, right? So what I'll do is I'll click on edit button for this row. So I'll click on edit. Now, if you see that what I got here is only that row or only that object, right, which corresponds to this row, right, which has name Zafar and email is b@b.com and sort of. Right, if I click on this row, right, we would see the Pallavi's data here. If I click on edit for Himanshu, we can see Himanshu's data here. On Vanshika's, we can see Vanshika's data here. Right. Now, what is the next thing that we need? Or is it clear? Yahan tak? Okay. Okay. Great. Right. Now, what is the next step that needs to be done? Next step is that if I click on edit, if I particularly click on edit, right, the value, this value of whatever, whichever row you select, that should appear in the same form, and we should be able to edit those values. That is the next step. Now, to do that, we use a function called as patch value. Now, how I am going to do that is that when we click on this edit data function, this function, I would simply say this dot my form one dot patch value, and I'll pass that object. Now, what is that object? What does patch value do? Patch value simply fills the form controls of this form with the keys of this object. That is what patch value will do. Now let us see. Right. I again add Himanshu a@b.com, and I select, let's say, Nagpur. Right. Then I add Jafar as ab@b.com, and I select Amravati, and I say submit. Now we have two rows here, right? Now amongst these, I will select any one row. Let's say I click on Zafar's row. I click on edit. Now what happened is it printed the data here because of console.log, but along with that, it also uh, displayed the values of in the form, right? So that we should be able to change these values and update, right? If I click on Himanshu, right, I'll see Himanshu's value here, right? How are we doing that? We are doing that using the patch value function of our form. That is how we are doing it, right? Next, what needs to be done? If I click on submit, right, what will happen is this is not going to edit your code. This is simply going to add a new value with the same values. If I say Himanshu 1 and if I click on submit, what happens is I get a new row here, but that is not what we want. What we actually want is the same row should be updated. Is it clear what is the problem in this? Right, because we want to edit Himanshu's row, right? What should happen is that array has two elements. Amongst that, we need to find which element has the name Himanshu, right? And it should edit that particular element. To do that, right, I'll use a very simple way. What I'll do is in my edit data function, I will pass an index. In my edit data function, I'll also pass the index of the row which is getting updated. So how will I do that? Here in my HTML, I would also pass index. So I'll say m comma I, which is the index. Oh, yeah. Inside edit data parameters, I would say m comma I. What is I? I is the index of the current row, which we want to update, right? And in our TS file, right? What I would say is, it's not here. It's here. Oh, okay. Now there is a little change in this, right? In our edit data, right? In our edit data, we are passing the object which needs to change and our index. In our TS file, what I'll do is I'll use some data member. I'll call it current index, right? And I'll say current index equals to 0, right? Then here, what I would say this dot current index equals to I, right? What is I? I'll pass that I from there. So I'll take it in another parameter here, right? So what I am doing is I am storing the index of the one which is edited. That is what is current index, right? Then what will I say? Or initially I would set it to -1 instead of 0, right? Just for the sake of it. Now, when we come and submit, right? Now this submit function, it's same for adding as well as for updating, right? Now in this particular case, what I'll do is I would say if this dot current index equals to -1, what it means is that this is a new data and you need to add. Otherwise, what I would say is else, right? Now this would be an edit thing. Now how will I edit? What will I say? I'll say this dot my data of this dot current index equals to this dot my form one dot value, right? And as soon as this is updated, what I would say? I would say this dot current index equals to -1. So I just reset my current index. Now this is not a very, say, good way or proper way of doing it, but for understanding purpose, this should be fine. Now let's check that out. Right. I'll use some name. I'll say Suresh and I would say a@b.com and Amravati. I'll click on submit. I click on edit. Right. I say from Suresh, I say Suresh1 and I click on submit. Right. Nothing changed. What it did is it pushed. Okay. Now this is some issue. What I would say is I would say current index 31 पे क्या print हुआ सुरेश1 आया. Then I'll do console.log this dot current index. Right. Now let us see what happens. Is write some name a@b.com and city and I click submit. I click on edit. See, the first time it came, the current index was -1, right? Then I clicked on edit, right? In edit, now what should be the value of current index? The value of current index should be 0, right? I change this name here and I click on submit. Okay, so it says undefined here. What is undefined? 32 is undefined. Now, why is it undefined? It is undefined because I am not getting an I here probably. Right. Let's say console.log I. Now that is how you need to debug. Now let's see what is the value of I that is coming here. I type something, I give a@v.com, right? I use, I click on submit, right? Then I click on edit. Right now, what is happening is we are not getting the value of I. Why are we not getting the value of I? That might be because I is out of scope. I is out of scope. Is it? Let I equals to index. We are passing M and we are passing I. And here and the best part was that the file was not saved. Now, what you should also do is always save the file. Right. So I click on edit. Now we got that index 0. Why was that error? That error was because my file was not saved. I just made the changes, but I did not save it. I changed this. I click on submit. Now, if you see that my the current row, it got edited. It did not push anything new. Now, if I click, I say Himanshu and I say b@b.com. I'll select and I click on submit. Then what it does is it adds a new row, right? If I click on edit, right, I say Himanshu one, I click on submit, we get this change. Is it clear? Yes, good. So what in edit what we have done is whatever array was stored, right? We changed its value at whatever index it was we were trying to edit or update. That is what we have done. Is it fine yahan tak? Yes, yes. Okay, okay, great. Right now, okay, I don't want to overburden you. Right, what you do is try these things today at home. What are you going to try? Create a form, right? Have a drop down also in that form. Try binding this drop down to your form, right? Then have a table, right? Inside that table, whatever values you are putting in the form, if you click on submit, those values should be, you should get those values in the table, right? Once you get those values in the table, you should also be able to edit those values. That is what you have to try. Probably this is not as easy as it seems. That is because of my experience that I am able to do it in the first go, right? But you would take a little time in doing this, those who have not done this previously, right? So instead of uh, running fast, I want each one of you to implement this, and once implemented, build it, and after building, deploy it. I could not see, or I did not see uh, any deployments yesterday, right? So I need those deployments today, right? Will you be able to do it?